Here's a little something about me. Never should have been let out the penitentiary. Hood champ would like to say that I'm a crazy mother effer from around the way. Remember this?
Who is it? Shannon Sharp did a great interview with him. All these interviews that I do where I'm speaking so positive and just so nice and so intelligent and confident. I don't hear how y'all get stupid out of that.
Well, let me ask you a question, right? For me, because there's so much we can talk about, and I know you probably ain't gonna stay out here too long. Were you drinking alcohol, taking shots, or was that apple juice? Because we talked about that. I said, look, she was hitting the booze. She's an athlete. She says she don't drink, but is she hitting the booze, or is that just drinking apple cider? Because that turns a lot of people off too, and that's been dialogued on this channel.
When was I drinking some liquor? What?
You were on that guy show. It was he was talking to you, and
my boy?
Yeah, were you taking shots of liquor?
Come on, be for real.
Well, that's why I said it may not have been liquor. Well, I know you said that.
Water.
Okay, well that's why I said she may not. Okay.
I put water in mine.
Okay, well, hey, a lot of us were like, I said, she may not have been drinking, but we were like, maybe she was.
Y'all love people that drink and that smoke and that twerk and all that.
You saying, y'all, Claressa, you don't know liquor. Well, I know you said that. Okay, well that's why I said she may not. Okay. Okay, well, hey, a lot of us were like, I said, she may not have been drinking, but we were like, maybe she was.
Y'all love people that drink and that smoke and that twerk and all that.
Liquor. Well, I know you said that. Okay, well that's why I said she may not. Okay, well, hey, a lot of us were like, I said, she may not have been drinking, but we were like, maybe she was.
Y'all love people that drink and that smoke and that twerk and all that.
You saying, y'all, Claressa, you don't know? See, this the thing. We don't know each other, right?
Bong diggity, bong, 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 bong. What are we going to do with Claressa Shields, people? The Shields drama portal sucking everybody in. Just when we thought it was all over, Claressa Shields came back and set it off. What's up with her, man? I mean, that's a real question. What's going on with Claressa Shields? I mean, she just caught up in so much drama. She's not a role model anymore. Was she ever a role model? All that talent. Now she out here mixed up in this crap with some guy. Says she doesn't know him. Then she there in the car with the guy. This is the problem right here when you talk too much, man. Because the internet don't play. Now, on that Justin LaVoy interview, she was drinking. They poured from the same bottle. So much she put water in hers. The goddamn video, they from the same bottle. So she told me she put water in hers. But I didn't even want to go and take a piece of his video and show it because it doesn't make sense. There's just so much stuff out here that making her look crazy. I'll just leave that alone because I don't need to keep adding to the fire. I'm a fan of Flames now, but I ain't gonna throw gasoline on it because she's doing that herself. Now look at this.
How do you? Okay, let's talk about how you recognize weirdo niggas. One, I don't know you.
Now look, she doesn't know him. This is why I say.
Know you, right?
You see what I'm saying? Now, I'm going to just leave all that alone because y'all more up to speed on that than me. But I'm just letting y'all know. Claressa Shields is not an honest person. Few athletes in modern boxing has done what she's achieved inside the ring, but I'll be honest with you. Nobody's talking about it anymore. And most of the fans that are coming on board now and who are like, who is this girl? They don't know nothing about boxing, her boxing. They're not out here talking about, oh, this is the female that's widely regarded as one of the greatest female fighters ever. Isn't that the two-time Olympic gold medalist? All these championships? Nope. They're just like, who's this bird flying around on the internet, chirping every goddamn way? Because she doesn't conduct herself as the greatest female fighter ever. She has immersed herself in the world of social media, which is a very dark place and toxic place, and she's become this social media sensation, which a lot of people just don't like. She does have some loyal fans, but a lot of people don't like her. The more stuff that comes out about her just makes her look bad. It's one thing for people to look at Claressa Shields and think she has a bad attitude, but now this thing with whether she was with this guy or not, and with Papoose, and now women are sitting back saying, oh, could have been, possibly with this guy, and this guy kind of at the same time or overlapping. It just, the bottom line, in recent months, the public conversation around Claressa has increasingly moved away from what she's accomplished in boxing and towards all the goddamn controversies. Even her champion been sucked into the drama portal. You know what I'm saying? And I think I'll forever be attached to Claressa Shields in a somewhat symbiotic relationship because she came on my channel and did an interview. And I tell you what, when I did the interview, I knew what I was doing. I made sure to let her talk, not disrespect her, not sit there and try to poke her in the eye and say, nope, I've been doing this shit for years, people. Years. I know how to sit back and let somebody talk. Let them talk, even when they're saying something that you know isn't true. You just say, okay, maybe it's me. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing this shit for, I put it to you this way. I started doing this shit, I think, really locking in around 21. I'm 50 now. I know how to talk to people. I know how to let them walk into traps. I know how to fucking get them to talk a little more. I know when to talk to take things down a notch so I can keep the conversation going. But if people don't have that background, they couldn't have understood what was taking place. And I know we probably, 95% of motherfuckers didn't. But look now. Look now. All this stuff on social media. And you can come right back to that interview I did with her. And everything that's going on with her, everything that's going on, I talked about in that interview. It's like a 48-minute interview. Even these online discussions involving her relationship with Papoose. Along with other social media conflicts. Beefing with the women at MVP. Even that Alicia Baumgartner out here posting stuff about Claressa Shields. Alicia Baumgartner out here taking subliminals and direct shots. Serrano. All of the women. It's even to the point to where you got fans out here, if they see that Claressa Shields is supporting someone, co-signing someone, the fans are saying, who's this person she's speaking so positively about? Oh, Caroline DeBar? Oh, we don't like her now. Caroline DeBar has done nothing to deserve any kind of negative attention, any kind of negative drama, for anyone to defame, slander her name, or to attack her online. She's done nothing. But fans are fans. So I think we're going to see more and more people distancing themselves from Claressa Shields. Because there's nothing positive about her, at least from what we see online. If I'm wrong, somebody tell me something. Because I know a lot of Claressa Shields fans watch the show. Because they message me, they're like, yo, we know. They're like, we mess with you, although we're Claressa Shields fans, because you try to be fair. There was one lady like, oh, her champion, you straddled the fence. Just call it for what it is, her champion. How about this? Fuck you. You have your opinion, I have mine. I'm not going to do what you want, bird. You go create a channel. And then you can say all the shit you want. I'm doing what I feel is, I'm doing what I want. And I see the good and bad in everything. But I'll be honest with you. when it comes to this right now, I don't see any good. I'll be honest with y'all. Y'all know when I always do videos on Claressa Shields, I try to, this and that, and I can't even really talk about her boxing no more. And that's a result of sitting back observing and just seeing this uncomfortable situation evolve to the point where I'm asking the question, is Claressa Shields' legacy being overshadowed by controversy? And trust me, I've done a deep dive, man, trying to explore the narrative around her, how that shit shifted, who's to blame. And I'll be honest with you, you know who's to blame? She's to blame. Papoose is to blame. Win Records is to blame. She's to blame. Papoose, I'm just being real. You look at fans, you look at fighters, appear frustrated with the constant drama. Whether she can redirect the focus back on what made her famous in the first place. Negative. I don't see that happening at all. Nope, cherry been popped. Can't go back to being pure. Been deflowered. All that innocence, all that greatness, all that 2-time gold medalist, all that pristine branding, that shit's out the window. So that what she once had, that greatness outside the ring and inside the ring, that greatness outside the ring, that shit's gone. She'll never get that back. And that greatness inside the ring, now that she's, openly admitting to smoking and drinking, nah, she out here getting, high on the hookah. I don't even know what that is, but I don't see how a person can just sit there and smoke on a hookah unless there's some kind of benefit. I think they were explaining to me there's some coals or some shit you put on there. See, I don't know. I don't do all that shit. See, I'm old school. I don't know nothing about no goddamn hookah. But I tell you what, if she want to sit there and smoke on some shit called a hookah, and then she want to sit there and wake up that wicked genie in that bottle and tap that shit and twist the cap, I don't see her continuing to show much dominance in that ring. You know what I think is going to happen? Stay chagrin. They going to put the bing-bings on her ass. Somebody tell me something. He said, hood champion, here you go again. Hood champion, here you go again. You just don't like Claressa Shields. Hey, yo, you McNicholas, hold your horses and stop taking it to the stupid. I think she's interesting. I don't like her. I don't dislike her. She's interesting. But I don't have to like or dislike her to be able to tell you that you can't continue displaying dominance in the ring if you're smoking and fucking drinking. At some point in time, bad habits will catch up with you. Outside the ring, distractions will catch up with you. It's not a boxing thing. It's a being professional, a lack of professionalism thing. You go into your job or you're running a business. It doesn't matter if you're the CEO of a corporation or if you got a food truck or you work at the airport sniffing luggage. It doesn't matter. If you're smoking a whole lot, if you're drinking a whole lot, at some point in time, it will start to affect your employment. And understand this, Claressa Shields, she's unemployed right now. Oh yeah, Hood Champion said it. Oh, she's unemployed. What do you mean by that? What I mean by that? Every fighter is unemployed after they fight. What's she doing to make, how's she getting paid right now from fighting? She's not. She only gets paid when she's fighting. So they fight, they get paid, and after that, they're unemployed. Now, as far as that boxing career of hers, I really don't have much to say about that anymore, man. You know what I'm saying? You look at the last, I'm going to say September, because that's when I really started. That's when I started dropping the Layla Ali videos. But I've been following Claressa for a long time. I mean, 2 years ago, nobody was talking about her like this. Yeah, she had an attitude, a little chippiness. Her and Baumgartner going back and forth. Her kind of being online. We knew she was a little bit goddamn ghetto and shit. She wasn't the most polished athlete, but it wasn't to the point that I think anyone felt she was Well, at least most of us online who don't know her personally, we didn't think she was this. Like at any moment would run up the road and do a drive-by biting. I didn't know she would do a drive-by biting. I don't want to be bitten by nobody. But this remarkable career that she had, that no one cares anymore. All this shit, how she rose to prominence as a young amateur boxer from Flint, Michigan, and became one of the most accomplished fighters in Olympic boxing history. Nobody cares anymore. Ship sailed. Now they talking about Jade Jones, 2-time gold medalist for kickboxing, who's into boxing now. That's what everybody's talking about now. With Claressa, they're talking about her and her drama. As far as achievements, they're talking about Jade Jones. I'm being real with you. No one even cares right now that she's the most decorated fighter of her generation. They don't. Looking at the resume, championships, all the weight classes, the confidence, technical ability, nobody cares anymore. Because where she dominated opponents inside the ring, now she's out here. You know who she's dominating? She's dominating herself. She's kicking her own ass. Self-destruction. You're headed for self-destruction. Today's lesson, self-destruction, is really not the rap audience that's bugging. No, it's not the rap audience, not the boxing audience that's bugging out here. It's Claressa Shields and Papoose Pap. They are messing up, man. This shit ain't cool to watch. Got a short period of time, a short window, man, to show how great you can be inside the ring and outside the ring. She's dropped the ball. All those achievements, and she's out here dropping the ball, man. Supposed to be this boxing champion, global superstar is what everyone expected her to become, who can elevate women's boxing to new heights. Jake Paul is doing that. Serrano's doing that. Katie Taylor's doing that. Shadesha Green is doing that. They jerked Hannah Gabriels. She sure as hell would have been able to do that, man, with everything about that woman. And Claressa Shields, there was a point in time she could have done it, but she has dropped the ball and focused all on herself and being trashy, wanting to be a goatee. All that talent. And look at this shit she's in. You talk about some young girl or some young boy, hey, you guys can do anything, matter of fact, because young boys can be inspired and motivated by Claressa Shields too. Look at this. This was a female. And we're all adults, right? Young black female, man, come from an impoverished background. Look what she was able to go and do in the Olympics. She did it. What are we talking about? Let me go online and show you. And then you're going to see all this shit about Claressa Shields and all this drama. Who wants their child to know anything about Claressa Shields? Let's be real. I don't want my kids, my sons know about her. They laugh at her. My sons laugh at her. They're like, why she act like that? My 8-year-old don't know shit about her. He just know daddy does videos. But my other sons, they'll see and hear some of the stuff that I'm here looking at, and they'll be like, what's wrong with her? That's what my sons say. My 11-year-old, my sons are brilliant too. They just sit back, and he's like, what's wrong with her? That's what, got a goddamn 11-year-old. Why does she talk like that? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, don't even try to understand it. Man, please, a champion. Your son don't. Yeah, they do. They always with me. I be here doing videos. Big ass office with couches in here, TVs and shit up in here. They be here chilling, harassing the shit out of me, feet all up, watching TV, snatching remote controls from each other. And we be in here laughing. I just shake my head. But someone tell me, Claressa Shields, she elevated women's boxing to new heights? Did she bring attention to women's boxing? Yes. Yes. Beginning of her career, there were a lot of attention on women's boxing for the right reasons. Now, she does still bring eyes to women's boxing, but not for the right reasons. What direction is her career going, people? Y'all still expect her to become a global superstar? Who got her as the face of boxing? Because, you can be the face of boxing, but not for the right reason. Right? She be the face of boxing drama. Other women can be the face of boxing when it comes to professionalism, when it comes to in-ring dominance, when it comes to being an example. Whole person concept. What is Claressa, the face of women's boxing, when it comes to what? You see, this is what I want to make sure people understand. Outspoken personality, nobody gives a shit. Nothing wrong with having an outspoken personality. If you're speaking at the right time and you're addressing specific issues and you do it in a respectful manner, and you can still be a little bit chippy because we know they're fighters. People understand that. But see, when you have an outspoken personality, you do things in a professional way, that coupled with your undeniable talent, that's a perfect combination to create a crossover star who could appeal to both hardcore boxing fans and mainstream audiences. But when you have an outspoken personality and you're just making stinking noise and cussing and attacking people and lying. Matter of fact, liar, pants on fire. You draw unnecessary attention and all that undeniable talent nobody gives a shit about. And that is a perfect combination to take it to the stupid and to turn off hardcore boxing fans and turn off mainstream audiences. Talking, Hood Champion, you just hating on me. Man, please, pep. Here go Hood Champion again. Tell him, Pep. Am I a global sports icon? 2 gold medals. Nobody want to hear about that 2 gold medals no more. According to the guy Maserati Bud, you felt that he should have been with you or something because you had the goddamn 2 gold medals. Summer Cup boxing. Man, listen. Somebody help me understand this. Now, of course, I'm a married guy and shit. You know what I'm saying? I got my stuff together. But there was a time where Hood Champion was out here, man, locked and loaded, fire in the hole, 31 days in a month. I got to have 31 women. I'm just being honest, right? We adults, we talking. That was the goal, and sometimes was mission success. Other times we came short. But you better believe the way I used to move back in the day, my cousin, my brother, if there's 20 days, 28 days in a month, 29, 30, 31, I had to have 28, 29, 30, 31 different women. We were dogs. But I'll tell you this, I ain't never met no woman come talking about, well, I can't be here with no man if we not be exclusive because, I'm the CEO of Purina, or I'm out here and, and I'm the manager at McDonald's. You better treat me like I'm that extra slice of cheese on the burger. Now, what I look like sitting here being second to you when I'm out here, man, and I own my own business and I got multiples of millions. Let me tell you, man, shut up. I could only imagine. I was rolling some shit about the gold medals and the titles. I'm a boxing champion. What does that shit matter when it comes to a man wanting to be with you or not wanting to be with you? Somebody help me understand that shit is comedy. I think I'm a funny guy. I make jokes, but that shit had me cracking up. Because here it is again with her, and I know he's telling the truth, because them gold goddamn medals and world titles and being a champion. I could only imagine. I could only imagine breaking up with somebody like Claressa Shields. Now, look, we ain't gonna be. Look, I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? We just go separate ways. Well, you don't want this two-time gold medalist ass, do you? Man, please don't worry about it. All this championship ass, you don't want that, do you? All these world titles, it don't matter. I don't need you anyway. Shit, I'm the problem. What I look like being second to you or chasing after you when I got 2 gold medals? I know she said that. You know how I know she said it? Because she said that shit on the goddamn Breakfast Club. So she's saying it to everybody. That shit is wild to me, man. Outspoken, confident, but doesn't know how to navigate the balance between authenticity and brand management. And as a result, she was heading for self-destruction and has self-destructed real time in front of us. But that's what happens when you're involved with a bunch of social media controversy. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the biggest factors affecting Claressa Shields. Public perception. Social media. Get off social media. You know what I mean? Get off. Just go away. I'm making $8,000. Then my boy Rick be in the chat to me, she making 5G. She said 8, Rick. Okay. I make $8,000 a day from social media. Okay, well, you making the money off social media, just out here stirring the pot and shit. Well, everybody else, let them make their money and don't be trying to strike people's channels and take people's shit down. You out here talking shit, let everybody else talk shit. You want the attention, you got it. But that social media, let me tell you something. Papoose Pap, Win Records, they need to get up off of there. But they're not going to. You know why? Look how many months this shit be going on. They ain't going to. I understand in today's sports landscape, the athletes trying to interact with fans directly. All these little platforms, Twitter, Instagram, these live streams they do, I get it. And that direct connection can build a loyal fan base, but it can amplify controversy, and people hit screen record and they go and they dissect everything you say, and they sit there and they track everything you say, and they watch it with a comb through it with a fine-tooth comb, man, and they sit there and see all your lies and inconsistencies. They come back, create content, and make you look crazy. You don't see Beyonce doing no live with her fans. Didn't Claressa say something about she liked Beyonce or something? Who ran the world? Yes. You look over the past several years, Claressa Shields involved in a number of heated exchanges online. Whether it's critics, rival fighters, commentators, men, she always has something going on. And those moments go viral with the quickness. All across boxing media and all these fan communities, man. I see stuff, man, it's like, yo, these disagreements seem to be minor, in my opinion. But next thing you know, internet gets a hold of shit, has a way of magnifying conflict until it becomes a headline because it's a dark place. That's what people like, drama. But she wants to give it to them, so she got to understand when they go and they take it and magnify it and make it a headline on multiple pages. But as a result, that public conversation about Shields, it shifts rapidly. And that's why no one is talking about her achievements anymore. It's whatever controversy is trending, which is for this week, is the shit with her and this guy, Maserati Bud. You know what I'm saying? It's always something. That's why people out here just fatigued. Like I said, man, that Shields drama portal sucking everyone in. Everyone, everything. That shit is fatiguing, you know what I'm saying? What they call that, controversy fatigue? That's how I describe it. It's just controversy fatigue. Like it just gets old, man. Even supporters who admire Claressa, even when they start expressing frustration that the focus around her career drifts away from boxing and towards personal disputes online, and they're tired of it. I'm like, damn, the Gwoties are putting down their bowl of Cinnamon Toast Crunch and picking up Wheaties, corn flakes. I said, damn, they don't want all the drama? You know, when a Gwodie decide to put down the Cinnamon Toast Crunch, it's real. But see, that's the deal. For fans, the concern's not necessarily about a single incident, but about the pattern, man. It just seems to repeat itself. It's always some new controversy. And that becomes another chapter in a narrative that some observers feel is overshadowing her accomplishments. I'm telling you, it's overshadowing her accomplishments. Nobody talking about her. I'm the only one that still mentioned it, but even I have a tough time mentioning it because what I'm going to say, I'm a broken record now. But I'm not a broken record when I talk about the new shit that happens every day with her. Ain't nobody out here trying to celebrate anything about her victories and trying to analyze skills no more. That discussion is gone. Look at the bigger platforms when they bring her on. And shit, what do those discussions revolve around? Headlines, social media debates, gossip, drama, things she said. You know what I'm saying? No one's talking about her and where she's at now as a pro, if she could go back and talk to that girl who was an amateur in the Olympics and the gold medalist and this, they don't talk about that. They talk about the drama. So for anyone out here talking about, content creators, nope. You look at all the major platforms. That's what they're talking about. What's the latest bullshit they're talking about? Her talking about she can beat Rolly. Y'all want to laugh? Now remember, she was saying that she could.
I can't wait.
She's saying she could beat Rolly, right? I got something that's gonna make you laugh because even I have forgot about this one. Watch this. Had me cracking up, man. I was like, she said she could beat who? I'm like, Rolly. I said, okay. We all know that won't happen. Check this out. This gonna make you laugh.
If there's a name out there that you want to start drumming up publicity for the next fight, who's the contender? Who's the person who can give you the most trouble out there?
Cecilia Brækhus at 154. Me and her are the only undisputed women champions in boxing history. Cecilia Brækhus fights at 147. I fight at 160. I believe that we can both come down. Well, I believe that I can come down, she can come up, and we fight at 154.
She's watching this right now. What's your message to her?
To Cecilia, bring it on, baby. She says she's the pound for pound number one. I believe that I'm pound for pound number one. And the only way to, decide who's really that is not by resumes or who's been around longer, but for us to fight.
Do you think there are professional men out there that you could beat in a boxing match?
Absolutely.
Really?
I'm a two-time Olympic gold medalist, undisputed champion. I think people get it kind of. They always say, women can't beat a man. I spar with men. And, I drop men. I bust men nose. I beat men up all the time. It's weird, like, if I was to say, like, which is the guy I think I could beat up. I think I could beat up Keith Thurman.
Really?
I really do. I think I could beat up Keith Thurman, even though, they're like, he beat Sean Porter. I think I could beat Sean Porter, too. Skill-wise and just strength-wise. I think that they may be stronger than me, but their boxing abilities isn't like mine. Triple G, he's older now, but I can give Triple G a run for his money. I give him a run for his money.
How are you think you can hang in there with honestly? Because this is gonna make.
You know what? Power for power isn't a question because what is boxing? Boxing is a sweet science. It's not about strength. It's not about strength because people were saying Christina Hammer was stronger than me. They were saying all these girls were stronger than me, but did you not see the head movement that I had during the fight? See the defense, the offense, the traps I set. If I was to get in there with a man, I would do a lot more of that. And I do have some power. I'm not going to say I'm stronger than them, but if I set up the right shot with the right timing.
Hey, hold on. Y'all heard that, right? Woman said she could beat Keith Thurman. Woman said she could beat Sean Porter. Woman said, surveys, she could beat or give Triple G a run for his money. Oh my gosh. Talking about, you see the speed, you see the this, you see the that. You know what we see? We see someone not holding their horses and taking it to the goddamn stupid. Now this is years ago. And she's still out here talking this dumb shit about Rolly. This fucking Claressa Shields said she could beat Keith Thurman. She could beat Sean Porter. She could have given Triple G a run for his money. Yo! I know y'all know. Do y'all know who Triple G is? Y'all don't know who Triple G is, do you? This is why. Let me pull this up, because see, some of y'all don't know who he is. This woman talking about some goddamn Triple G. Now, Terrence Crawford came on the show, and I told him, she said that she could beat Sean Porter. He was like, I ain't heard that. Well, he gonna hear it now, because I'm going to make sure I send this to him. Because I ain't making nothing up. This is why people don't want to hear what this girl had to say, man. This is Triple G. This man, 42 wins, 37 KOs, 2 losses. His 2 losses were to Canelo. And that first loss, he beat Canelo. They robbed him. And that second loss to Canelo, it was he was old, and Canelo won. Man, 5'11", 70-inch reach, 88% KO ratio, and Triple G was a fucking monster, a monster. You understand? A monster. When I tell you a monster, I'm telling you a monster. So she come out here talking that crazy shit. Let me tell you something. You a Claressa Shields supporter? Cool. But y'all just heard what she said. Now you're wondering why she's having this negative impact on Claressa's, on women's boxing. You're wondering why people are fatigued by the drama, the online drama. And that's why when you look at this pattern when it comes to Claressa Shields and out here saying crazy shit and just lying and being negative and just always in the middle of something, man. Fans are starting to distance themselves emotionally from the athlete involved. Even if they want to try to respect her abilities, they can't respect her foolishness. Absolutely delusional. Hey, yo, hold your horses and stop taking it to the goddamn stupid, Claressa. You talking about some Triple G? Goddamn Sean Porter, Thurman? You crazy? And then Rolly, you crazy? Talking about you busting men's noses and beating them up and doing that. Yeah, sure, we saw. We saw you beat guys up. We saw what happened with you and the little guy there from the gym, the one who you said, man, you were beating his ass, right? That's what you said. I didn't say that. You said you were beating his ass, didn't you? And then, you know, things, somehow things went a little bit left on you, didn't it? But you were beating the guy's ass, weren't you? And that they had took padding out the gloves and all that. Isn't that what you said happened? They took padding out the gloves, right? Right? You were beating his ass, weren't you? When you beating his ass?
Yeah, I did the same thing. Yeah, they hold their breath. Yeah. They're trying to throw everything that hurts somebody, and that's not the point. Good? I see you're missing the window right there. If you have the chin miss right there, you can fire right back. Don't square. Square your head. Good job. Right back to the jab. Not the hook. Right back to the jab. The body. Work the body, not the head. There you go. Start with the jab. Are you walking? Just walking up without no jab. You got a jab. No. Hold their head. Don't hold their head down. Oh, guys. Whoa, guys. Let's go break. The finger, folks. Listen. Come on. But hey, come on. Oh! Look it up.
But you would have beat Triple G. You would have beat Keith Thurman. You would have beat Sean Porter. You would have beat Rolly. To that I say, in the most respectful way, hey yo, Claressa Shields, take it easy, McNicholas, and stop taking it to the goddamn stupid. Making women look bad out here. No other female fighter talks the kind of stupid, delusional shit that Claressa Shields speaks. None of them. They spar men. We know female fighters spar men. And we know Claressa Shields fighting these guys and sparring these men, that makes her even more of a beast inside the ring. But don't be delusional. Ain't nothing wrong with having confidence. But that Triple G shit, I ain't even got nothing to say. Now, for y'all ladies out there who don't really follow boxing like that, just go look at Triple G highlights. Gennady Golovkin. That's all I'll tell you. Matter of fact, I ain't even got nothing to say. Put it this way, the professional fighters know Triple G was that guy. People duck that dude. I'm talking champions, elite, special fighters. They want nothing to do with him. Triple G is a different type of animal, generational talent. Talking about some Triple G, man, whatever. But when it comes to that impact of women's boxing, again, I'm gonna tell you, Layla Ali, the face of women's boxing. Simple. Women's boxing spent decades fighting for recognition and legitimacy. Layla Ali, job well done. Katie Taylor, job well done. Amanda Serrano, job well done. Shadacia Green, job well done. Christy Martin, job well done. Ann Wolf, job well done. All the women out there who've been out here, talking a little shit, but get in the ring, doing the business outside the ring, man, trying to conduct yourself in a professional way, ladylike, but also with the right balance as a fighter, job well done. Not out here being a goddamn cockroach. Not being a cockroach. Fighters, promoters, fans, job well done. Working hard to build a sport that receives the respect it deserves on the global stage. We know it's not easy for women, especially when it comes to women boxing. But for Claressa Shields, one of the most prominent figures in women's boxing today, naturally plays a major role in shaping how the sport is perceived by the public, how the sport is received by the public. How do you think the sport's perceived by the public based on how she's conducted herself? You ask the question, somebody answer me. Get in the comments and answer me. Say something. Because of that visibility, any controversy which is every day involving Shields, it attracts a lot of attention, the wrong attention. You know what I'm saying? There's some fighters in the sport who prefer to focus entirely on competition and professionalism. Katie Taylor. They don't care to get caught up in a bunch of ongoing drama. Katie Taylor, you don't see nothing. Even her and Serrano had a little back and forth. It didn't go nowhere because neither one of them are about all that drama. They talk just enough for us to say their little bit is a whole lot, because you ain't used to them kind of going at each other. But we know what happened in them fights. Serrano deserved to win. Katie Taylor did deserve to win that third fight. The first two fights, they kind of did Serrano a little bit. I thought Katie Taylor won that first fight, but it was close as hell. I wouldn't have been mad if Serrano won. Second fight, Serrano won. That third one, they robbed her in that second. But that third one, Katie Taylor won. Serrano, she was worried about getting hit, but it was the wrong game plan. But the bottom line is, there are athletes who can quietly distance themselves from the narrative in order to protect their own reputation, brand, and maintain focus on their careers. Claressa can learn a lot from those athletes, but she doesn't want to listen to no one. She's out here talking to Pap. Pap, who's Pap? That's who she's talking to. You see, this whole dynamic creates a complicated situation. where a fighter's public image can indirectly affect how others in the sport are perceived. That's why those female fighters don't like Claressa. Most of them don't like her ass. Because they're like, shit, to some people, she's the face of women's boxing. She's the one everyone talks about, which is true. I come out here to do videos on other fighters, and I find myself end up doing videos on Claressa Shields because there's so much content and so much to be said. So even I have to check myself and today try to put out some on the other fighters. But it goes back to what I was saying. That whole dynamic creates a complicated situation where one fighter's public image, Claressa Shields, is indirectly affecting how others in the sport are perceived. Now, this whole thing about relationships and internet speculation, we all know her and the rapper Papoose Pap have something going on. We know that. Been going on for a while. They dating it. It's not a secret. Hood champion could care less. Y'all know I don't give a shit. But I'm telling you what, man, she's in a relationship that attracts attention. And now there's a lot of speculation about her being in a relationship with the Papper and possibly has spent time with someone else. So what happens is, you know, fans, bloggers, commentators, they're trying to piece together details based on all the social media posts, interviews, rumors circulating on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Even when a lot of the information is unconfirmed or it's just speculative, right? The conversation itself can become part of the public narrative surrounding the individual involved. And that's what's happening with Claressa Shields. Especially because she won't stay off the goddamn internet. She keeps doing these videos that make her look horrible. Makes her look horrible. And when it comes to Claressa Shields, these discussions have added another layer of attention that sometimes overshadows her professional accomplishments. That's why no one's talking about what she's done professionally. But don't get me wrong. I understand there's a challenge when it comes to preserving your image and personal branding. You know, we're talking about modern sports here. I get it. Athletes are not only competitors. They're also brands. Every appearance, comment, or social media post contributes to how the public perceives them. When you have someone out there who no one ever heard of come out and start talking about, I have video of you naked, Ring camera got you on this and that. When you have somebody saying that shit, it gets people's attention and gets them talking, especially when they're talking about Claressa Shields. So for any athlete who's seeking endorsement deals or mainstream recognition, you'll never get there. Claressa Shields will never get there, people. You know why? Not because, oh, you hating on a hood champion. You hating on her. No. It's because she's not maintaining a consistent and positive image, and that is extremely important. That's why I tell you she'll never get an endorsement deal or any mainstream recognition. Because she's always caught up in some kind of negativity. Sponsors often evaluate athletes not only for their talent, but also for how they represent a company's values. And there are thousands of athletes out there who have the talent, have the attitude, who are professional, and who would align with a company's values, and the company still choose not to deal with them. So that lets you know it's damn near impossible to land an endorsement deal. So when you know it's already damn near impossible and you're putting out a consistent negative image, you can cross your goddamn fingers, cross your legs, you can cross your eyes, cross the T's, you can call the Red Cross, hot cross goddamn buns, look both ways and cross the street. You're not getting it. Because the controversy has become the recurring theme in public narrative when it comes to Claressa Shields. Businesses are hesitating. They're like, to even mention her name. They don't even want to mention her name. Shit brings bad luck. Think they want to get into some temporary or long-term partnership? She'd have to go somewhere where there's a lot of negativity that's acceptable. Zeus Network. This does not necessarily mean the athlete can't recover or build their image, Because some athletes have. George Foreman. But he's the exception. The bottom line, it was even complicated for him. People were like, yo, can we take this dude serious? Because of what he was. But he disappeared for a long time. Then he came back stronger than ever. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to say this. Claressa Shields invalidation. That's just what it seems like to me. This whole thing about external validation. Social media engagement. Likes, comments, headlines. That feedback loop. I think for some individuals, like Claressa Shields, that attention and validation come from public recognition can be difficult to step away from. At the same time, all of that negative attention is hard to step away from too if you're looking for validation, because you're trying to see if you could turn the perception around to get people to see you in a positive light. I think that presents a unique challenge to a lot of athletes, especially Claressa Shields, seeking that validation from external sources. Instead of looking at themselves and being like, I'm okay, I'm somebody, fuck y'all. That's how I am, man. You think I care what somebody tell me? I don't give a shit. If I had an opportunity to talk with Claressa Shields, that's what I would do. I would drill that into her. You're somebody. You don't need all this. You know what I'm saying? Listen more, tweet less, social media less. Don't worry about what somebody's saying. You don't need to respond to everything. Leave those fuckers out there miserable as hell. You got your money, you got your health, you happy, your life good. You worried about them. For real. Most of these people that be out here talking shit, complaining, being negative for attention and clicks, those motherfuckers probably have horrible backgrounds, horrible lives. But that's what I would tell her. Get out of this cycle and try to break lock with this feeling, a feeling compelled to remain in the spotlight at all times because you hope, you like for that every 100 comment that comes through is something that validates you, makes you feel good. But then what about them 99? That first 99 that's tearing your ass down. So just get off of it. And look, I'm going to be real, that dynamic is not unique to athletes. It's all celebrities and public figures and even just people out here doing content. Some people want that validation. Tell them how good they are and they're funny and your content is good. Man, drop your video and forget it. But not everybody's built like that. You know what I'm saying? But I'll say this. There are supporters who still going to believe in Claressa Shields. Even with everything we discuss here, what other channelists talking about and what Claressa Shields is doing, the criticism, despite the criticism, man, that she faces, man, she's going to continue to have a strong base of supporters who admire her accomplishments and her willingness to speak her mind. But a lot of them are turning their back on her because even they're like, all right, enough is enough. Because no one would have ever thought she'd be caught up in some shit about possibly, pitch and woo behind Pep's back. Pep, who's Pep? So, but her diehard supporters, they don't care. They're going to argue that Claressa, that outspoken personality is, look, it's always been part of boxing culture. The men do it. Why can't the women do it? She's a fighter who generates headlines, even controversial ones, that helps to sell fights and keeps the sport relevant in the public eye, and it brings attention on women's boxing, even though it's not good attention, it's attention. Let me tell you, they will find a way to twist and spin shit. They are so biased to Claressa Shields, it's ridiculous. But hey, they can do what they want and feel how they want. You know what I'm saying? But from this perspective, when it comes to Claressa Shields, the quote, that confidence and confrontational style is simply part of what makes her a compelling figure in the sport. It's just all the lying, man. All the lying and shit. If I know that I've said something that I lied about, and I don't really lie, man, but I'll just get quiet. I don't have to answer. I don't have to respond. You know what I'm saying? I won't say nothing to you. You ask, I'll look at you like you're stupid. That's what she needs to do. But the bottom line is, when it comes to these Claressa Shields supporters, the Gwodies, the Cinnamon Toast Crunch eaters, they believe that critics often hold her to a different standard because of her bold personality and willingness to challenge people publicly. And they're entitled to feel how they want, but that's not the case. So I guess the bottom line, since I've been out here running my mouth for an hour, I'm about to go to Top Golf with my sons. Can the narrative change? Can the narrative change, people? The reality of sports history is that narratives can change quickly. I just don't know if she can do that, man. She can continue with her crap outside the ring. So, bottom line, talented, a lot of achievements, just toxic as hell, taking it to the stupid. And I don't know if there'll be another woman that can do what she's done in the ring in a short period of time. But outside the ring, I would hope there's no one who comes along and outperforms her, because she has dropped the ball and just ruined her brand. And that's just my 2 cents. Y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.